Can you please type yes in the chat box if my voice is audible? Type yes in the chat box if my voice is audible and if my screen is visible. Okay, then let's continue. I mean, yesterday and day before yesterday we were discussing about why multiple inheritance is not possible in Java, and we have seen some examples. And today also we will discuss a little more about multiple inheritance and the things that we need to focus on while developing a program, right? So as we already know that there are 5 types of inheritance in Java. One is first one is a single inheritance. The second one is multiple inheritance or the concepts. Third one is multi-level inheritance. And we have hybrid inheritance. The last one is hierarchical inheritance. So there is a lot of difference between multi-level inheritance and multiple inheritance. To take Java, in Java, the two types of inheritance are really not possible. One is multiple inheritance is not possible, and the second one is hybrid inheritance is not possible. So we have already seen why multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. And today again we are going to discuss some loopholes in the multiple inheritance and the things that we need to consider while developing a Java program. Right. First, let me give a brief summary about single inheritance. In the single inheritance, like we can make a relationship between two classes. Let us say that we have a class here. So there are two independent classes. So these are the independent classes. So independent classes in the sense that they do not really have any relationship between them. So you can simply say that these classes are independent to each other. They don't have any relationship. If you want to build a relationship between two classes, then we have to use a keyword called extends keyword. So when the extends keyword is used, it means the class B has a relationship with class A. What kind of relationship is that? A parent-child relationship. Right? What? A parent-child relationship. So this is called as single inheritance. We can say this as single inheritance. Because if you look into the diagram, if you understand this in the diagrammatical flow, this is how it looks like. This is one class and this is another class. So let me take the classes in the rectangular boxes. This is one class. This is another class. The class that is after the extends keyword, the class that is to the right side of the extends keyword, we call it as parent class. So in this case, the parent class is class A is a parent class. The class that is actually before the extends keyword is called the child class. So this is called as child class. Class B is called as child class. Since we are using the extends keyword, this is how the relationship looks like. So there is a relationship. So we can call this class in three ways. What are they? We can call this class as parent class. We can also call this as base class. We can also call this as superclass. So these are the three other names that we can place for the parent class. So if you want to understand this in other words, class B can also be called as child class. Second one we can call this as derived class. The other name is subclass. So this represents the single inheritance in Java. So this is possible. This is always possible in Java. Why this is possible? If you, even though if you take a small diagram, if you write a small programming language, single inheritance, so it always gives us to achieve the reusability concept. So what do I mean by reusability? If you ask me, let me write it here. We can reuse the methods of the parent class without having to develop the same code. Child class. So inheritance always talks about reusability. So this is the one line word that you have to remember. When someone is asking you about inheritance, you have to say that inheritance stands for what? Reusability. It's the one of the important keyword that you can remember in future. When someone is asking about inheritance, you should remember the word reusability. Again, in future we are going to discuss what is inheritance completely. So in this context, we are just discussing about multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. So why it is not possible in Java, we are discussing that. And again, in the future, inheritance is going to be a very big topic. In there, we will discuss about each and every topic once again in a brief manner. So inheritance always talks about reusability. This is a one word answer that we can give to anyone. Where you get the inheritance, it means you have to remember this word reusability. So let me again demonstrate this flow in the real Java code. Right? And again, I'm writing a Java code. And here I'm taking two classes. One is class A. So class A is nothing but it is a container. We can call it as it is a boundary that where we have to write the business logic, any instructions. When we have to write any instructions in a particular Java language, we have to write that instructions within the class boundary. So without any class, we cannot really write any code. Because this is how a program can be drafted in Java language. We have to use the classes. Let us say that I have two classes, class A, class B. These two classes are nothing but they are two classes are independent classes. Right? So and again, main method is mandatory in the Java programming language. You can have any number of classes, but there should be at least one main method. So let me consider taking the main method like public static void. So this is the syntax for main method. And again, this is how we will write the main method. And if you ask me what is public, what is static, what is void, these things we will discuss this in the future. Right now, please concentrate. We will concentrate only on why multiple inheritance is not possible. We have already discussed that in the exercise class, and today I'm going to show you how to make sure that our program is how to ensure that our program is not causing any confusion through multiple inheritance concept. So this is not a repetition. So this is something new concept that we are going to learn today. So this is class A, this is class B. These two classes have no relations. Two classes are independent. If I want to make a relationship, I have to use the extends keyword. Right? So extends keyword I have used, and if you see the class A is falling after the extends keyword. So this is going to be the parent class. It's going to be parent class, and this is going to be the what? Child class. So if the extends keyword is used, it means class B is going to acquire all the properties and the behaviors of the parent class. So this is what the inheritance is. This is what the inheritance Java inheritance says. So the class B, since class B is extended to class A, the class B is going to acquire all the properties and behaviors of the parent class. Now if you see in the parent class has no logic, it has no properties, it has nothing, it has no behavior. So it doesn't really matter that the parent A class should have any methods or behaviors. If at all in future, if you're adding any behavior, let us say that the behavior is void static void example, or I can say let me take this as name as behavior. So within the class I have a method. This is called the method prototype. So in this method, what I'm going to write, I'm going to write a simple println statement. So this is behavior of class A. So this is behavior of class A. Let me remove this and so, and again these are the comments. Comments in the sense you can write any comment with 2 forward slashes. So if you're writing anything after these 2 forward slashes, this statement will not be compiled. This is just for our understanding we are writing it. Just to make notes about a particular class. These are called as comments. So during compilation, these lines will not be considered by the compiler. These lines will be ignored. For our understanding, I am writing this as parent class. This is one of the command. This is another command. Will not be compiled. This will be ignored by the compiler. So this is class B. This is class A. In the class A, we have one method. Name of the method is what? Behavior. And we have a class B. In the class B, we have what? We have main method. Right? So in the main method, what I'm going to take another print statement in the main method. Right? In the main method, I'm going to take another print statement. This print statement, so I'm writing a line as main method. Or simply I can write as learning. So whatever that we are putting within in the double quotations, that will be displayed. Right? So we have seen this last time. We'll understand how this will get executed, and you will also understand what are the advantages of making a relationship between two classes. How the inheritance concept is being helpful to design a program. So here I have used the inheritance concept. We will understand why it is useful. What are the advantages of using the inheritance concept? So this is about single inheritance. So let me go back to the thing. So this is a diagram that I have taken. This is the code that I have taken. I am copying the same code and pasting it here. This is the code. So let me remove this. This is not really necessary. Let me remove this. Let me keep some space. So this is the code. We already know whenever we are writing any Java code in Notepad, the code has to get saved with .java extension. So never forget this. So this is how you should think as a developer. Whatever code that you are writing, the first of all, you need to make sure that the particular code is getting saved with what? .java extension. So this should be saved with .java extension. Right? So the name of the file should be same as the class name. You have to ensure that as well. In this case, they have two classes. One is class A and the second one is class B. If you ask me what name one should use when there are two classes, then you can simply say that you have to find where the main method is declared. Since this is the main method, this main method is contained in class B, right? So the priority should be for class B. So you have to save this file as b.java, right? Then what happens? This code needs to go through the compilation stage, right? So this is the compiler. What compiler does? Compiler will check if there are any errors. Then after if the code is error free, then it is going to generate .class files. We know this already. This compiler. The job of the compiler is to make sure that the code has no errors. If it has no errors, it is going to generate .class files. How many .class files will be generated? That is my question. Since there are two classes, is class A and the second one is what? Class B. Two .class files will be generated by the compiler. This we can say it as A.class. Second one is what? B.class. Right? After compilation, the .class files will be loaded to the JVM. So assume that this is the JVM. So these two .class files will be loaded into the JVM. Right? These .class files will be loaded inside the JVM. After getting loaded inside the JVM is going to generate a thread. So this is how we have to, every time you should think, whenever, even though if you're writing a small program, you're going to write a big program, it doesn't matter. You need to make sure that your thinking should be like this. So the JVM is going to generate a main thread. This main thread will try to get access to what? This main thread will try to get access to the main method. It will try to search for the main method. How it is going to search? Internally it is going to search for the main method. If you ask me, it is going to search for the main method, like internally within the JVM, because .class files are already there in the JVM, right? The main methods will also be like search inside the JVM. So let us imagine that this is the .class file for our understanding. So as soon as the main thread is created, it will try to find the main method. So main method is where here. It is the main method is here. Then it will execute all the instructions from the main method. In the main method, how many instructions we have? We have only one instruction. This instruction. So the output is going to be what? Learning.java. So that is, everything is okay. The output is learning.java, but I want to execute the behavior method. I want to execute this method. What I am supposed to do to execute this behavior method? In order to execute any method which is outside the class code, which is outside the main method, I need to call that method. Without calling that method, this method cannot be executed. Without calling this particular method, you cannot execute this method, because the purpose of main thread, this is the main thread, isn't it? The purpose of the main thread is to execute all the instructions that is available within the main method. In the main method, we have only one instruction, and it will execute this, and it will terminate the main thread will be destroyed after executing this. Right? Because its job is to execute all the instructions that is available in the main method. But here I have declared a method where outside the main method, outside the class B, there is another method in class A. I want to execute this method. If I want to execute this method, I need to make sure that this method is getting called. How do I call this method? Just write that method name here. Behavior. Just this is how we call a method. Just simply write that method with the opening parenthesis and closing parenthesis, and end with a semicolon. So let's run this program before that. So this program, let's see what output it is going to give. So This is the dot class file. This is the dot Java file because I have to save this file as dot Java file. I need to use what? B.java. So if you ask me, I have saved this file in the location in the C drive, in the Java folder. I have saved this document. So the document is saved as B.java. Hope you are able to see this. So let me open the command prompt. So I need to enable that location here, right? I'm making sure that the command prompt is pointing to that location. So C/Java, same location I'm pointing. C/Java, the C drive, the Java folder. You see my command prompt. Prompt is also pointing to the C drive in the Java folder. First, I need to perform the compilation. For compilation, the command is Java C space a file name dot Java. Name of the file is a dot. Before actually giving the enter key, what I am trying to do is first you see if there are any files here apart from b.java. There are no other files apart from b.java, right? Only setup is there. This is something different. But if you see here, only b.java file is there. As soon as I start compiling this. Sorry, see, it is giving me an error. File not found. A.java. Why it is giving me an error? Let me copy this. So this is also one of the important thing. So please focus here. You will understand. This is the error that it is says source file a.java file not found, but because here we have given b.java name, right? So I am compiling a file that is not existed. Let me try compiling again. Java is b.java. So compilation is successful because after the enter key, the cursor is just blinking. It is not throwing any errors. The error is blank. It is not throwing any errors. The cursor is simply blinking. It means compilation is successful. If you see, there are two dot class files entered. One is a.class, second one is b.class. Previously, there was only b.java file. Now two dot class files are entered. Right? If you go back to the paint, I said no. After compilation, what a.class file will be generated. This a.class file and b.class file will be loaded into the JVM, and JVM will create the main thread, and all the instructions in the main method will be executed. Let's see. That is Java. To execute the program, the command is just Java space the name of the class B. So learning Java. Only one statement is getting executed because in this class we have mentioned only one statement. The main method, there is only one instruction. Only one instruction is space. That's why this is getting executed. But if I want to execute this method, I need to call this method. What I will do, I will just call the name of the method. Just I will use the name of the method. Okay, this is my method name, right? Again, I am saving this. Every time I make changes, every time I need to perform the compilation. Java C space b.java. So now I have done this. See, first statement is learning Java. Second statement is this is video of class. So let me copy this again. So this is the new. We will keep this very simple. This example very simple. So in the beginning, what happened? This will be passed into the compiler. Right? Compiler will do what? Compiler will compile the program and will generate two dot class files. One is a.class, second one is b.class. After this, what will happen? This dot class files will be sent into the JVM. So JVM will do what JVM does. JVM will main thread. JVM will create the main thread. The purpose of the main method is to get access to the main method. So from here, it will get access to the main method. So all the instructions inside the main method will be executed. So the first instruction is what? Learning.java. This is what the first instruction is. Second instruction is behavior. So output is going to be what? Learn. As soon as JVM encounters this instruction, so you have to understand one thing here. So this instruction, executing this instruction is very simple. So it is crystal clear. Because there is only one line, learning Java will be the output. And when the JVM is encountering the second instruction, it will check if the behavior method will check if the behavior method is available in the current class. Will check if the behavior method is available in the current class. Do we have any behavior method in the current class? No, we do not have in the current class. Then what it will do, JVM will try to see if the particular class is extending to any other class. First, it will check the behavior method is existed in the current class or not. Right? The behavior method is not existed in the current class. The class speed is not there. Then it will check if the current class is using any extends keyword. Yes, it is using extends keyword. Then what is the class given after extends keyword? Class A. Then the control will go from control will go to class A. From here, the control will go to class A. In the class A, it will check if the behavior method is present in the class A or not. Yes, it is present in the class A. Now it will be executed. Right? Again, from here, the control will go back to the location where it was then previously. Right? Whatever the method that we are declaring, first the method will be traced in the current class. If the method is not available in the current class, the control will go to the current class only if we use extends keyword. So just imagine that if we are not using this extends keyword, for imagination, if you are not using this extends keyword, how the program will behave, we will understand that now. If you are not using the extends keyword, there is no way for the method, main thread, to look into the parent class because two classes are independent class. Right? So let me compile this once again. For compilation, Java C is a.java. Sorry, Java C space b.java because file name is same as class. See, there is an error. What it says, cannot find symbol behavior. So if I remove this extends keyword, the main thread, as soon as main thread starts executing, checking this, not the main thread, the compiler is trying to trace. This is not a runtime error, this is the compile time error. So compiler is unable to generate a dot class file because it is finding this behavior method is not included or not contained in the current B class because behavior method is available in the class A. In order to get access to this behavior method, there should be an inheritance relationship. We have removed the inheritance relationship. The inheritance relationship is removed. This method will not be traced. That's why we are getting this compilation error. It is not able to find the behavior, even though we have declared that, because we have declared that this method in a different class. Right? In order to make a connection, in order to get access, we are using extends keyword. Right? Now let me try running this again. Now it is able to find. Just type yes in the chat box if you have understood till now. Okay. So now we will see the behavior. We will see about this is single inheritance, and there is multiple inheritance, and there is also multi-level inheritance. Okay. So now we will see why multiple inheritance going to be a problem. And again, one more thing. So before going back to that concept, let me save this one. So now we will talk about what? We will talk about multiple inheritance. It is not possible in Java. Why it is not possible in Java, we'll get to know. Let me take two classes here. Class A, class B. So let me take three classes. To understand multiple inheritance, we should have at least three classes. I have class A, I have class B, and I have class C. So let us say that these three classes are dependent classes. We know already from the memory perspective, from the memory perspective, this is how it is going to look like. So three independent classes are there. So what I am doing is I am trying to extend class C with class B and with class C. So after extends keyword, I am using two classes, which is one is B, one is C. So since this is the class C, the class that is before the extends keyword called as child class. We already know that. So this is what the child class is called. Class C. So extends B in the sense that this is going to be one parent class and this is going to be another parent class. Right, after extends I am using two classes. So class E is going to be child and class E is going to have two parents, which is class B and class A. This is one parent, this is another parent. One parent and this is another parent. Right? So the concept of this multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. Now with a small program, we will understand why this is not possible in Java. Right? We will keep the diagram as it is. Let me go back to the notepad. So I am taking what? Here we have taken three classes, class A, class B, class C. Let me take the classes in the same order. So I have another class, class B. Let me take another class, class C. So this is going to be class C. So I am going to take the main method in the class C. So I am removing this extends keyword. So here the class is extending B comma C. Okay. Here I am going to have the same kind of behavior. Same kind of methods in class A. Class A is having a behavior method, and class B is also having a behavior method. Okay. And we are calling the behavior method from class C. So class C has the main method. Okay. How do we represent this? So let us understand this in the diagram. In the diagram, in the class B, we have behavior method. And again, class A is also having behavior method. If you talk about class C is having only one method, which is main method, right? So see the notepad. Class C is having main method, class B is having one behavior method, and class A is also having one behavior method. That's what I have written in this diagram. So what really happens? Let us say that we are performing the compilation and we are performing the execution, and we will understand the compilation execution through the high level diagram. So this is the high level diagram. Let's illustrate the high level diagram. Hope you're able to see my screen. So we know again, let's repeat the steps again. First, this program needs to get saved with .java extension. So if I say about .java extension, here we have to use the class name as c.java file. Why c.java file? Because the main method is declared in the C class C. So I will be saving the file name as c.java. After this, compilation will happen. Compiler will perform the compilation. After compilation, we will see three .class files are getting generated. One is a.class file, second one is b.class file, third one is what? c.class file. After this, these .class files will be loaded inside the JVM. Right? What JVM does? JVM will generate, or JVM is going to create a main thread. Right? The job of the main thread is to get access to the main method. Right? So from here, the access will be, it will try to get access to the main method. So this is here we have the main method. Right? All the instructions inside the main method will be executed. The first instruction we have already seen, what? Learning Java. So learning Java will be executed. Right? And again, the second instruction is we are calling a method. This is a method call. Behavior method. First, Java, this thread will check if the behavior method is available in the current class or not. This is the current class. Class C is the current class. Go above. It will check if the behavior method is available in the current class or not. It will check here. The current class, there is no method in the name of behavior, right? Then after checking here, we'll try to check in the parent classes. But in this case, we have two parent classes. One is we have class B is one parent and class A is one parent. These both classes have behavior method. This class is also having behavior method, and this is also as behavior method. Right? So here what is happening with the thread? The main thread will be confused which method needs to be chosen. It has to choose this parent class method, or it has to choose this parent class method, because both the methods are turning up to be with the same name, right? So the call, the main thread is not going to ensure that which method needs to be called, because this current class is extending the current class has two parent classes. One is B, another one is C. Even in the B class there is behavior method, and even in the A class as behavior. In the previous thing, if you take the previous example, like there was no confusion, because previous example was a single inheritance. There was no confusion, but here there exists a confusion. So it creates a situation called as an ambiguous situation. We call it as ambiguity. What we call it as ambiguity. Ambiguous. It is also called as confusion, confused situation, confused state. Right? In order to avoid this confusion, they have eliminated the multiple inheritance concept in Java. Right? So if I try to execute this program, how the error is going to look like, right? To understand one thing, In future, there are chances that you will be given a small piece of code. The piece of code will be like same like the code which I have there will be a class A, there will be a class B, there will be a class C, right? And you will be asked instance B, comma A, whether this code can be executed or not. This is how the question is going to be. Could you please tell me whether this code is going to get executed or not? Whether this kind of code is possible in Java or not? Immediately I have to say it is not possible because you cannot have two classes after the extends keyword. You cannot sequentially have the two classes after the extends keyword. Right? You are having two classes after the extends keyword. It means that the code is representing what? Representing multiple inheritance. These things are not possible in Java. After extends, you cannot have one class is okay. If it is one class, it is representing single inheritance. If you have two classes, instance B, comma A. This is multiple inheritance. The first one is this is possible. You can have one classes extended after extends keyword. If there are two classes, it means it is definitely not possible in Java. By seeing at it, by looking at the extends keyword, and if you find two classes after the extends keyword, you have to come to a conclusion stating that these things are not possible in Java because it is representing multiple inheritance. Why multiple inheritance is not possible in Java? Because the compiler will encounter a situation, will encounter an ambiguous situation, right? Because the properties, there can be two same behaviors in two parent classes. If that is the case, the compiler will not understand which method needs to be executed, right? So compiler is going to create an ambiguous situation. Because of this ambiguous situation, the inheritance concept is not possible in Java. That's why Java people has eliminated the inheritance concept just because of this ambiguity. Right? So this is a small piece of code, and if the program is like one class is extending another single class, it is possible. One class is extending to multiple classes, more than one class, it is not possible because that is going to represent multiple inheritance. Right? So we have got to know what is single inheritance, what is multiple inheritance, but there is a concept called multi-level inheritance, and multi-level inheritance is always possible in Java. What is the difference between multi-level and multiple? We will understand that. We will understand what is multi-level inheritance. Don't get confusion. Multi-level is different and multiple is different. Okay, this is multi-level inheritance. If you want to represent this in a small flowchart or a small diagram, you can simply take three classes. This class A, second one is class B, the third one is class C. So we have three classes, class A, class B, class C. How the multiple, this is not multi-level inheritance. This is, we have three independent classes. This class is independent, this class is independent, and this class is independent. If you want to make a multi-level inheritance, what I am supposed to do? I'll be making a small change. What is the change? Class A, class B is extending class A, class C is extending class B. Now this represents multi-level inheritance. If you see after the extends keyword, there is only one class. Here also after the extends keyword there is one class. So this is not multiple, but this these two classes that is extending to a different class. So class B is extending A, class C is extending B. So how the hierarchy is going to be? This is how the hierarchy is going to be. This is class A, this is class B, and this is class C. Right? So if you want to draw the diagram, this is diagram. And we can name these classes. Right, this is going to be what? Child class. This is parent class. We can call this as grandparent class. Right? This is class C. This is class B. This is class A. So this is multi-level. This is one level. On top of this one level, there is another class. So it is making the level is more than one. That's why it is called as multi-level inheritance. So this is really there is a lot of difference between this multi-level, and if you consider this diagram, this is multiple. Multiple inheritance, a single class has two parents. That is not possible. Understand? But here it is not like that. A single child has one parent. The child has the grandparent, but it is not directly related. The relation has been made through the parent class. Right? Parent to child to parent, parent to grandparent. You want to if you want to execute the same logic that we have been executing, how this will work? We will see that, right? So class A we have, class B we have, class B extends class A, class C extends class B, right? So let us understand, as instead of this is behavior of class A, right? I am just taking it as behavior of class B to make sure that which method is getting executed, right? This is behavior of class A. This is same. So first we will trace the program from our end, then we will try this running using the Java language. Right? Let me call two behavior methods, and this is another behavior method. Please put some attention, focus here, pay some attention. So we have taken three classes here. We have taken three classes. One is class A, another one is class B, and another one is what? Class C. So first question. The question is before compiling, on what name I can save this file, right? So because there are three classes, what name I will be choosing? Obviously, anyone with eyes can say we have to choose C. We have to use the name C because the class C is contained. Class C as the main method. So we have to save this file name as what? C.java. Right? And after this, what we have to do, what we are supposed to do, we have to perform the compilation. Right? Compilation, what does a compiler do? Compiler will check if there are any errors. If there are no errors, obviously it is going to create three .class files. Compiler takes in the .java, okay, and will generate three .class files. One is A.java, then one is B.java, third one is what? C.java. After the compilation, what? Then the .class file will be loaded to the JVM. Right? So JVM will create a main thread. Every time we have to think like a programmer. Every time we have to think like this. So this is how your thought process should be whenever you are writing a Java program. A main thread will be created. Main thread will try to get access to the main method. From here, main thread will try to check for the main method. Yes, it finds a main method. Then it will execute each and every instructions from top to bottom. Right. The first instruction is this one. The output is going to be learning Java first output. And if you see the second output, we are calling a behavior method. So how the thread is going to track this behavior method? I have already said that the behavior method will be tracked in the current class. It will check if the behavior method is available in the current class or not. Right? As per anyone with eyes can say that behavior method is not available in the current class, isn't it? Behavior method is available somewhere in the parent class. So if you see that this class C is extending to which class? Extending to class B, right? It will check if the behavior method is available in the class B, right? It will go to the class B, and yes, it is available in the class B, right? Then the output will be executed. What is output? This is the behavior of class B. This is what the output is going to be. Right? So this is done, and again the behavior method. Third time we are again calling the behavior method, and again it will check if the behavior method is available in the current class. It is not available in the current class. So it will look if the current class is using any extends keyword. Yes, it is using an extends keyword. After the extend keyword, it is the hierarchy is class B. So it will be checking inside the class B once again. And once again, the second time the behavior method will be executed. So this time the output is going to be learning Java. This is behavior of class B. This is behavior of class B. You know that already. So let's see. Let's trace that program if the output is same. So let me save this. So for compilation, Java C space. This time it should be. You have to understand one thing. The name of the file has been changed, right? Because main method is now in the class C, right? I need to save the file as C.java. After saving this file, let me open this online compiler. Let me compile the C.java. Let me run the C. Learning Java. This is behavior of class B. This is behavior of class B. So let me make a small change here. I am removing this behavior method in the class B. Right? Let us understand this program once again. So let me open this. Okay. So this time I did a small change. I have just removed the behavior method from the class B. That's it. Didn't do much. Class B, there is no behavior method. Now how the execution happens? And again we all know first thing is what? C.java. We have to save the file as C.java because main class is the C class system, right? After this compilation, the compiler will generate what? 3 .class files. One is A.class, second one is B.class, third one is C.class. Right? After this what? We are trying to execute, we will be using this .class file will be sent to the JVM. In JVM will create a main thread. This is the main thread. The main thread will try to get access to what? It will try to get access to main method. From here it will try to get access to mobile. In the main method, all the instructions will be executed. The first instruction is this one, learning Java. The output is going to be in the output, you can see learning Java. Right? And the second instruction is what? Behavior. So if the thread is encountering this instruction, I have already said that it will check this behavior method in the current class. It is not available in the current class. Then what it does? We have used the extends keyword, right? So from here it will try to trace that in the class B, because after extends we are calling the class B, right? In the class B it will try to check. Even in the class B it is not available now, right? And again if it will check if the class B is extending to any other class. Yes, class B is extending to class A class. It will go to the class A. Control will go to the class A and it will check in the class A. In the class A behavior method is available, right? So it will execute this instruction. Now the output is going to be this is behavior of class A, isn't it? Then again control will, after executing this, control will come back to the location where it was crossed. But directly control will not come back here. If you, control will come back from here to this class, from this class to the same way, the same path it will choose to return back. Okay. The last again we are calling behavior method, and again this time we'll check if the behavior method is one. The same process is going to repeat. Parent class it is not available. The immediate parent class it is not available. Then it will check in the grandparent class. Yes, it is available in the grandparent class. So the output is going to be what? So this is behavior of class A. So three instructions are executed. So after executing this, all the three instructions, the main thread, the generated main thread will be destroyed by the JVM. That's it. So are you finding any confusion here? Because multiple inheritance is choosing the parent class first, then it is choosing the grandparent class. This for the second time, right? So there is no confusion here because the thread is clear with its path. It knows which method needs to be executed according to this, like according to this hierarchy. First it will check in the parent class. First it will check in the current class. If it is not available in the current class, it will check in the parent class. If it is not available in the parent class, it will check in the grandparent class. There is no confusion here. That's why this multiple is not possible. Multi-level inheritance is possible in Java. Right? Just type in yes in the chat box if you have understood till now. Hello. You can type yes in the chat box if you have understood till now. Not getting your messages. Okay. Okay, then we will discuss about the two inheritance, which is actually not required, but I will give you a brief picture about the remaining two inheritance. Then we will proceed with the next topic, which is the next topic. Why polymorphism method over, operator overloading is not possible in Java. That concept we will discuss tomorrow. We need this idea to understand about multiple inheritance. I hope you have understood what is multiple inheritance. Let's wind up for the day. If you have any questions, you can post now. You can ask me. Any questions for you? Questions are always open. If you have any questions, you can post here. Okay. Okay. Samyukta, are you seeing the recording? Have you seen the extra days recording? Okay then. Okay. You can put questions are always open. If you want to ask any questions, you can ask me in the chat, in the WhatsApp also. You can call me at any time. Okay. So thanks for the day. Have a great day. We will discuss tomorrow. We will continue tomorrow.